Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Aaron.
Aaron is present. Welcome back to SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Guys, I remembered the thing I wanted to say in the last video, but I couldn't remember what it was. And it has to do with this is solid, real world advice for how you can prevent your child, particularly in a case where you're sharing custody. You're a non-Scientologist. You're sharing custody of your child with a Scientologist parent, how you can 100% for sure prevent your child from getting into Scientology, being sucked into Scientology, being put onto Scientology courses and auditing. And I feel like I might need to apologize in advance, you guys. We have never plumbed the depths. We have never explored. We have never found the line of how much Aaron is too much Aaron on a given day. I don't think we've ever found that line. But if we were going to find that line, it just might be today, you guys. I got a lot of stuff. I feel I'm particularly motivated today. So apologies in advance. By the way, if you're not getting notifications, it's because YouTube does not like sending out notifications, particularly when you're going live and uploading 4 or 5 times in a day. Eventually going to be like, pump the brakes a little bit. So that explains that a little bit. Guys, if you're a non-Scientologist parent, and your ex-partner is getting involved in Scientology, and you want to make gosh darn diggity sure your kid does not get roped in, you do not have to go to the courts in order to make sure this occurs. You can, perhaps you should, but what I want you to know is that it probably never even occurs to people in this situation to go directly to Scientology. And I'm going to explain what I mean, because Scientology takes this very seriously. Scientology has what most people who followed Scientology at all are familiar with the term suppressive person. That's what Scientology calls someone when they leave, when they break certain rules, when they speak negatively about David Miscavige. Once Scientology declares you a suppressive person, that is their version of expelling you, excommunicating you, and all Scientologists are required to cut all connections and communication with you. They're not allowed to maintain any employment relationship, any business relationship, personal relationship, text, call, nothing. Complete severance. Now, Scientology has a lesser known label called potential trouble source, or PTS. Now, potential trouble source, simplest definition in Scientology is someone who is connected to a suppressive person. All right. And if you are you're an ex-partner, ex-spouse, you are someone who is vehemently opposed to, antagonistic to, hostile to the idea of your child participating in Scientology, that makes you a suppressive person, whether they officially label you or not, because Scientology won't officially label someone who's never been in Scientology. They won't officially label them a suppressive person anymore, although they used to. But you will still be considered to be acting as a suppressive person. They could call you a suppressive person to your child, even though they're not going to officially label you. Now, you being a suppressive person or acting as such makes your child PTS, a potential trouble source. Now you might go, potentially a source of trouble to whom? In Scientology, the term potential trouble source means the person is potentially a source of trouble to Scientology itself, to the organization itself. Now let's take a hypothetical situation where you have a couple. Let's say the couple was never in Scientology. They share custody of a kid. They're no longer together. One of the couples gets into Scientology and they start dragging the kid into Scientology as well. The only way that new Scientologist parent would be able to involve the child in Scientology, especially against the wishes of the former partner, is by withholding from the organization that the child's other parent is antagonistic to Scientology. And that is the only way such a thing would be permitted. Scientology is very strict about not allowing people who have serious PTS situations to go on course or to get auditing. It's a pretty major and basic rule. So if you are a parent who is in this situation, one of the quickest, most effective things that you can do is submit in writing a letter to the Scientology organization that your former partner is involved in. Address this letter to the director of special affairs. So if you're in the Philadelphia and your ex-partner's, taking your kid to the Philadelphia org, you would direct this letter to just the director of special affairs, Philadelphia. I would also recommend sending a copy of the letter to the ethics officer for whatever organization it is. It doesn't matter. The ethics officer, the director of special affairs, and you might as well, just for good measure, send a copy of the letter to the executive director of the organization. So executive director of Philadelphia. And for even added spice, you might want to mail a copy of this letter to the commanding officer of the Office of Special Affairs International for the Church of Scientology International. You can look it up online. The address is like 9331 Hollywood Boulevard. Actually, let me just look it up right here. Hollywood Guarantee Building. 6331 Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. I mean, if you look up the address online for the Church of Scientology International, I'm pretty sure you are going to get that address, 6331 Hollywood Boulevard, and send a copy of your letter. Attention to the commanding officer, COOSA Int, commanding officer, Office of Special Affairs International of the Church of Scientology International. And your letter should say something like, I am the parent and legal guardian of whatever your child's name is. I share custody with, provide a lot of details. I share custody with this individual. He or she is involved in Scientology. And it's come to my attention that my child has been being introduced to Scientology. And I am letting you know, without beyond any measure of any doubt, that I am 100% against my child being enrolled in Scientology courses or auditing. I have expressed my position to my former partner. So everyone's been put on notice. And if I find out that my child is being enrolled in Scientology courses and auditing against my express written wishes, I will pursue legal action in family court. Now, it doesn't matter whether you do actually pursue legal action or not. This tells Scientology beyond any shadow of a doubt that your child is, according to Scientology, PTS, and not just mildly PTS, severely PTS. Now, someone might go, oh my God, I don't want to put myself on the radar of Scientology. They'll come after me. They'll fair game me. They will not. They will not. Scientology has so much to worry about these days that the last thing Scientology wants is to pick a fight with a parent who has legal custody or shared custody over a minor child. These are not the battles that Scientology picks. They are very sensitive to these things. What's interesting is that not only will your child, for sure, not be allowed to enroll in Scientology auditing or courses, there's a chance your former partner may not be able to as well. It depends. Enforcement of these rules is a little murky and variable from, org to org, depending on who's on post and what the latest orders are that have come down from Miscavige that week. But I think it's at least, I consider it sort of a public service announcement that in family situations like this, it is completely within your power to bring about the result you are seeking without waiting for the courts to act. Getting involved in the legal system is almost never a good situation. It's time consuming. It's expensive. It's nasty. There's rarely a winner. And you don't need to rely on the courts in this situation. So that is the thing I meant to say in my last video. By the way, the last video that I'm talking about is the one called Seeking Help, Need Scientology Source Mag, number 268. So let me just take the opportunity to repeat the message. If any of you viewers out there have a physical copy of Flag's Source Magazine, number 268, please contact me. I'd like to get photos of some stuff that's in there or a physical copy if possible. All right, everyone. So much more to come today. Stay tuned. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe